The heart is the core of our being, and it is something we all have in common. As such, it is also a source of great wisdom and meaning in our lives. In today's story, we see a patient who comes to a healer with a broken heart. The healer does not prescribe medicine, but rather gives the patient a sign to remember and ponder over. This sign becomes a guiding light for the patient, leading them out of their darkness and despair, and back to the path of righteousness and hope. As he walked away, he couldn't understand why he had been given a piece of paper instead of medicine or advice. He read it over and over again, trying to understand its meaning. As he did, he began to feel a sense of calm wash over him. He started by praying more and seeking God's help in his situation. He also began to read the Quran and reflect on its teachings. The man's heart began to heal and he felt lighter than he had in a long time. He started to realize that hope was not just a word, but a powerful force that could change his life. He looked at the sign on the paper and realized that it was the Arabic word for hope. The man realized that he had been focusing on his despair and had forgotten to have hope in God's mercy. He trusted that God would help him through his problems and lead him to a better place. God is always with us, and He wants us to lean on Him when we need help. We cannot do everything alone, and we should not be afraid to ask for help from those who are more experienced or knowledgeable than us. Sometimes all we need is a little guidance or support to help us through a difficult time. Seeking God's help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It shows that we are willing to be vulnerable and honest about our struggles, and that we trust Him to help us through them. Let us remember that we are not alone in our struggles, and that God is always ready to help us when we need it most. May we find comfort in His words. O humanity, indeed I created you from a male and a female, and made you into peoples and tribes, so that you may get to know one another. Surely the most noble of you in the sight of God is the most righteous among you. If you like this story, then check out these other videos. And don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to receive notifications of our latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. When we put our trust in God, we open ourselves up to His mercy and forgiveness. We acknowledge that we are not perfect and that we need His help to overcome our challenges. When we face challenges, it's easy to give up and lose hope. But if we hold on to our faith in God and keep trying, He will eventually help us overcome our obstacles. The man did not give up when he was faced with adversity. He kept trying to improve his life, and eventually he was rewarded for his efforts. He was filled with hope and knew that God would never abandon him. He shared his experience with others and encouraged them to seek God's help in their times of need. He had lost hope that God would help him overcome his problems. He pondered over this and wondered if hope was the answer to his problems. Could hope really heal a broken heart? He explained how it had changed his life and brought him closer to God. He understood that the real healing had come from within him. When he turned to God and had faith in His plan, the wise man smiled and said, "You didn't need a piece of paper to heal your heart. When we turn to God and put our trust in Him, He will guide us and help us through our troubles." Hope is a powerful force that can help us overcome any obstacle and heal any broken heart. When we lose hope, we lose faith in ourselves and in God. But when we hold on to hope, we are reminded that God is with us and He will never leave us alone in our struggles. Sometimes all we need is a reminder, like the man received on the piece of paper, to help us see the light. You needed to remember who you put your trust in. I simply reminded you of that. In this video, we will look at the power of the heart and the importance of seeking help when we are struggling. We will also discuss the role of faith in healing our hearts and bringing us closer to God. So if you are ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, then let us begin. Welcome to our channel, where we bring you stories and lessons from the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his companions that will inspire and guide you on your journey of faith. Before we start, please subscribe and press the bell icon to receive notifications of our latest videos. Once upon a time in a distant land, there lived a man who had a problem with his heart. He felt sadness and grief deep within him, and no matter what he did, he could not seem to shake off this heavy burden. He tried everything from seeing doctors to taking medicine, but nothing worked. He was desperate for help, and so he decided to visit a wise old man known for his healing touch. When the man arrived at the wise man's house, he explained his situation and asked for help. The wise man listened patiently, and when the man finished speaking, he simply smiled and said, "Do you want me to heal your heart?" The man was overjoyed and immediately said, "Yes, please help me." The wise man then gave him a slip of paper with a sign on it, and told him to keep it close to his heart at all times. Puzzled by the wise man's response, the man took the slip of paper and left. The man continued to carry the sign with him everywhere he went. He remembered a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which says, "Hope is like a flame that extinguishes despair." With renewed hope, the man began to take steps to improve his life. He went back to the wise man and thanked him for giving him the sign. The man was ashamed for not realizing this before, but he was grateful for the wise man's help. From that day on, the man lived a different life. The story of the man with the broken heart is a reminder for us all that we have the power to heal ourselves. The sign the wise man gave the man was not just a piece of paper, it was a symbol of hope. The man in the story was able to heal because he had faith in God's plan for him. It's important to remember that we are not alone in our struggles. The man's story also reminds us of the importance of seeking help when we need it. Finally, the man's story teaches us the value of perseverance. The story of the man with the broken heart is a powerful reminder for us all that we have the power to heal ourselves. When we turn to God and put our trust in Him,